Hello everyone and welcome to my contribution to the Garden Warfare Fiesta. This event is pretty crazy. I'm going to be adding to it today. So we got a Garden Ops tier list here, and this is based on special waves. I played so much Garden Ops, I know what I'm talking about here. This is all based on crazy ops. So with that in mind, let's just hop right into it. I think I should explain what these mean first of all. Worse than the boss, obviously S tier. 50% lose rate, this is pretty much stuff that if you're in a bad situation, you're not gonna win it. Mildly concerning, you can get through it, but you're probably gonna take a lot of damage. Brainless, not too bad. And free wave, like it says, it's a free wave. Let's start with flame retardant. This is brainless because welders pretty much don't really hit you at all. Sky guys, I don't like foot soldiers in ops. They deal way too much damage and they're way too accurate, and the whole wave is foot soldiers. Vase breaker is obviously a free wave because the most you'll get is 4 heroes coming out of the vases, and there's enough time to break all of them, so you got nothing to worry about. You should be able to destroy those 4 heroes so fast they don't even hit you. Next is Goat Herd. This is a rare one. I don't think I need to explain myself. It's literally just goats. Fan Frenzy is a bunch of super fan imps. You shouldn't be having problems with this wave if your aim is better than a 3rd grader. Without any backup zombies, there's nothing to distract you from vanquishing them all. Grumps is just newspaper zombies. Cone Company, cone heads aren't as bad as bucket heads for sure. And this is all just cone heads, so there's not that big of a deal. Vanquish that Yeti. I hate the Treasure Yeti wave. The Yeti itself can't hit it if you're a chomper, and the chompers will just get demolished by the Yeti imps anyway. So that's an entire class out the window. Oh, oops, it's supposed to be here. And yeah, those imps deal so much frozen damage. If you just focus on the Yeti the entire time without focusing on the imps first, you're probably gonna die. High voltage is some brown coats, physicists, electricians, and electro brains. You don't have to worry about the heroes in this one. They're not going to deal that much damage to you, but if they do get close, you are probably going to have a lot of problems. Tackle dummies. I hate blitzers. If a single one gets near you, then the others are all going to pile on and you're going to be tackle stunned into oblivion. Goon Squad is just exploding imps and all-stars. All-stars don't really do too much. You'll see this in the enemy tier list. If they're up close, then yeah, you might have a lot of problems. Just don't get cornered. Scientists are super annoying. They heal each other all the time. They're always hooked up to each other with the heal beam, but they're not that bad. And you can probably get through this wave just fine if you keep your distance. Sneak attack spawns a bunch of camo rangers and brown coats near the garden. I don't think you have to worry about them too much, even though foot soldiers are terrifying in this game mode, because not a lot spawn, and they're usually simple enough to deal with. The Z team. Engineers, all-stars, scientists, and foot soldiers. The first 3 you can deal with pretty easily. When they're all together, they might be a problem, but I have never really had a problem with this wave. Okay, I'm gonna have to explain myself here. I don't think imps are that bad, and Z-mechs for that matter. The imps are really easy to deal with, and the Z-mechs themselves, they have a problem with hitting you in the first place. If one of them brings up Missile Madness, you can just bundle that single mech and he's dead, because it takes way too long to charge. Pirate Invasion was almost in a tier above, but I don't think it's that bad. It's just pirate zombies, as horrifying as pirate zombies are, because they'll deal a lot of damage from you from any range, and if one of them hops in the barrel, then you are basically gonna be insta-killed with no counterplay whatsoever. Legion of Boom. It's just exploding imps and all-stars again, just like Goon Squad, but the only all-star is going to be Wrestling Star. Saucy Saucers is just imps and future imps. Future imps, they're basically exploding imps with guns, but they don't move that fast, and they have slightly more health. Brainless Brigade is foot soldiers and flag zombies. There's not a lot of foot soldiers compared to Sky Guys, but it's still a horrifying wave because the flag zombies buff the foot soldiers' defense so you can't kill them as quickly, which means you have to spend more time getting shot by them. And foot soldiers are very good at dealing a lot of damage to you. Then we have Robo Assault. I'm gonna say this is probably the weakest wave in this tier. If you're on Lunar Landing, this is a free win, but anywhere else, these guys are gonna knock you around, splash you with rockets, It's not really a fun time. And finally, for Garden Ops, we have Brain Freeze. Arctic Troopers and Yeti Imps. Does that sound fun? No? Well, too bad. You are going to have to spend a team revive and figure out a place to hide during this wave, because both of them freeze you and both of them kill you very quickly. Anyway, that is the plant side of this done. We are now going to move on to Graveyard Ops waves. Okay, Graveyard Ops waves. First of all, we have Dave's gifts. You have enough time to get to all the gifts, and the gifts, the most they'll spawn is 4 heroes, and again, like with Vase Breaker, you can destroy all 4 heroes before they even do damage to you. Monsters is Count Chompula and Vampire Flowers. This is mostly here because the entire wave is just heroes, but they're pretty weak heroes. Bonfire Buddies! Fire plant variants. I like having health regeneration, but you don't have that luxury in this wave. Have a Dr. Heals around or a scientist, or you are just gonna get smited. This wave is literally a slow burn. Frozen veggies. Do I even need to explain myself? Getting frozen in Ops is a death sentence. Food Fight has corns, citrons, and pea shooters. I don't like this wave at all. Every time I come across it, I have a heart attack. Heavy Petal is even worse. What you have to deal with is, let me read off this list: Armor Chomper, Iron Citron, Barbecue Corn, Metal Petal, Future Cactus, and Porcelain Vase Weeds. I'm going the other way. My team can deal with that. High Voltage Vines has EP, Electro Citron, Power Cactus, Power Chomper, and Power Flower. All of those sound horrifying. And if you're all together in a group, Mystic Mayhem has a lot of fun plants to deal with. To start the wave, you have a nice appetizer of dandelions and hypnoshrooms, which will knock down your health a fair bit. And then the real wave comes in. Mystic Flower, which admittedly can't really hit you because the AI sucks with Mystic Flower. Unicorn Chomper, who teleports right up to your face. Necros, who has Goatify and Jinx and Time Snare, and you can't kill it because it goes into Arcane Enigma. And then you have Zen Cactus, who is absolutely horrifying. I do not like this wave. If you think this is bad, the Super Bean Boss wave has the same exact plants, so have fun with that. Poisonous Plants is just Toxic Pea, Toxic Chomper, and Toxic Citron. All 3 of them suck. Pumpkin Heads are just cone heads. Terracotta Warriors is a bit harder because you have to deal with wood shield weeds and stuff. Not really that difficult though. Vitamin C. Oh boy, this is a zombie's worst nightmare because then it cures your scurvy. Zombies deal extra damage because their breath is bad. Yeah, I'm not even gonna, you guys know where this is. Literally just citrons in the ball form. They don't even try to attack you. Hypno Shrooms are a little bit difficult, but they're not really that bad. Hypnotizing you sets you up for disaster. These guys don't have a disaster to back them up. Unlike Mystic Mayhem, which is absolute, you're dead. This is the king of self-revives. And finally we have Vanquish the Marigold. She is one of the most annoying enemies in the game. Not because she's hard, but because killing her is difficult. She's so skinny. She hides every now and then in her chest, so she's even skinnier. She runs around just as quickly as the Yeti. She stuns you for a long time if you get anywhere within 50 miles of her. And then there's a bunch of dandelions everywhere. I am just gonna like superimpose allergy season here, because I forgot to make it, but allergy season is just dandelions. That's it for the Graveyard Ops special waves. Now we're gonna move into the special objectives for both plants and zombies. I'm gonna start with Protect the Zombomb because I think this is glitched. It seems like the Zombomb has 10,000 health or something. He just sits around soaking up damage. You don't have to help him at all. Protect the Squash is slightly harder because he does have an actual health pool, so you do have to worry about him a little bit. Okay, now let's actually get into the real stuff. Hunt the Champions. There's not enough time to complete this mission if you're just going passively. You have to actively run into the horde to get these guys, and that is horrifying for any character to deal with. You are basically dead, and there's no other option to get them unless they somehow luckily make it to you in time. No base damage just puts a bunch of melee enemies everywhere, you don't have to worry about them. But you can sometimes fail this wave if you're too focused on one entry point. So just kind of patrol around and wipe them out. No knockouts is just a normal wave, so it's gonna go in the middle. Stay close to your team or you're failing this, by the way. I don't know why everyone splits up in crazy ops. The entire point is to kill enemies quickly and revive each other. Why are you splitting up? Stay near the garden. Speedrun's only up here because it's very difficult. You don't have enough time to complete this objective, even if you rush all the points. There's too much health in crazy ops. I could just have a skill issue, but every time this comes up, I never complete it. If I had 1,000 coins for every time I completed speedrun, I would have 0 coins because I've never finished it on crazy ops. Checkpoint race forces you out of the garden for a little bit, but you don't have to worry about this at all because there's way too much time to complete this, and there isn't that much enemies either. Pop smarts and chickens, oh boy. I hate this one. If you don't have a citron or a scientist on your team or a super brains, then you can kiss this goodbye because you absolutely need to have a fast moving character on your team to complete this mission. If you don't, then you're gonna get the last pop smart to the base and there's gonna be 1 second left and boom, you failed right before you got it in there. This happened way too many times to count, and it is very, very annoying. Rescue the Champion has you rush into the enemies to vanquish the Warden, and then you have to go back to the locker and rescue the Champion. This isn't that hard, but you had to absolutely book it as soon as the wave starts, or else you are not finishing this objective. Ambush is just a normal wave that starts early, so I'm just putting it here. Huge wave is a huge wave, and there's not much heroes either. Stop the Squash and Zombomb they have no health, even in crazy ops. You don't even need to use abilities on them. You could just shoot them normally and they're dead. They will never make it to the garden. And finally, we have Scarecrows and Tombstones. Most of the time, these guys will spawn brown coats, bucket heads, weeds, pumpkin weeds. So, not a problem. They also don't have that much health, but some of the time, PopCap will be like, "My son, you have been blessed with 8 pea shooters," and then you're dead, and your team will have to kill them all for you. But most of the time, you will get through this wave and you will complete it very quickly. Anyway, that is the finish of the special waves for ops. If you found this educational, then great, I did my job. If you don't like it, complain all you want in the comments. I will hear you out. Anyway, see you next time, and enjoy the Garden Fiesta. Check it out in the Discord link below.